without have no soul.
Hey guys, give me a second here. I'm just trying to figure something out here.
Gentlemen, can I please have your attention? I've just been handed an urgent and horrifying news story. And I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
All right, can everyone hear me? Hope you guys are doing all right. Kind of messed up. It was unlisted, and then it was public, and it was unlisted, and then my settings got all messed up. So I apologize for that, guys. Interesting. 1 second here. Still kind of messed up. I don't really know what's going on. All right. I think we're live. I think we're live here. Hold on. All right. Just I do read the live chat, so let me know what's going on. If you guys could hear me well or not. Give me a thumbs up if you like the video. Let's get started. Okay, so we're going to go to CoinMarketCap, and we're going to look at Bitcoin right now. So what's going on with Bitcoin right now? Everyone's asking that question. Is it going to drop? Is it going to pump? What's going to happen? So right now, I wanted to take an even closer look at the top couple markets here. We have Bitfinex at about 11% of the volume, sitting at 7150. BitHum at 7200, and in Japan, Bitflyer, which is about 5% of the volume, which is around 7,300, which is even higher than the rest of them. So one of the things I really wanted to highlight today, guys, was what the psychological levels were for Bitcoin in different locations, like, because Korea and Japan own so much of the market share that it is really important to actually understand where their psychological levels are. And people always wonder, what are the psychological levels even here in the States? So what is a psychological level? A psychological level is either a point of resistance or a point of support without any real backing. So it's all human psychology. And so here in the States, in the English language, our psychological level, let's switch to the daily here, daily interval here. Our psychological level is 7,000. So we're sitting at around 7,000. That is our psychological level. If we're sitting on top of that for a while, and we try to dip right below that, it does it is a level of resistance, and it's a level of support. And that's just human psychology. It's called whole number psychology. And if you don't believe me, let's just number psychology. Okay. And it's super zoomed in. Okay. So this is a Forex market trading psychological whole numbers. So here you could see that there's $1 mark, is a level of resistance, but it could also be a level of support. And this is just one small example on Daily FX, which is Forex market, which I would compare the closest to the cryptocurrency market, because we are open 24/7, and there's a lot of volatility here. So that is the level for this is the level for the United States. So what is it in Korea? So the Korean won. Let's go check out the Korean exchange rate. So right now at 7,000. That doesn't look too good. 7.8 million won. That's not a very good whole number here. So we're gonna switch this to 8 million. Okay, and it's 71.4120. So that is the psychological level for Korea. All right. So we're gonna take a look at what the level of what's the Korean level right now for Bitcoin. And right now we're coming right up close to that, almost only $40 away to that psychological 8 million won for Bitcoin. So we're gonna take a look at that. So 8 million won, we're coming up real close. Like we're cutting it real close, guys. This is for BitHum, and BitHum is the largest Korean exchange. So this is the psychological level, and you could see. I mean, we're gonna draw this out here, guys, for you. And if you have any questions, hit me up in the live chat. I definitely do read it, so let me know. So we're just gonna put it right here at the 8 million mark. So just even, you don't even have to be a trader at this point. So let's just look what this 8 million mark really means. So we've dipped below that once. 11.3, but since we've been above it at around 11.1, we haven't really dipped about it. We've kind of bounced at it, right? And if we get even closer here, we could see that we've cut it real close here to that psychological level, and that psychological level really does impact people's trading strategy, because it's a bigger, wholer number that people could wrap their heads around. And I just wanted to show that the $7,000 mark doesn't really quite hold water in the rest of the world. We trade in dollars, but some people trade in won, some people trade in yen, and those are the two biggest markets after the BTC USD pairing that we see. So there's clear-cut evidence that this psychological level does exist. The psychological level absolutely exists, and I don't know why, but the data isn't really showing here for BitHum too much here past this 1 hour mark. So let's go to the daily. Again, yeah, I guess I just added this market to Coinigy, but let's check out what's going on in KBit. So yeah, there's a lot more data here, a ton more data. So let's actually look at another psychological level of 5,000 or 6,000. So 6,000 we kind of blew past. I think 5,000 would be better, but we're going to look at 6,000 anyway. So we're going to do $6,000. Oh, that's 60,000. $6,000. So that's closer to 700,000 in the Korean won. So let's see what 700,000 is, or 7 million rather. So that's 62.48. So we're gonna look at what the psychological level for Korea was at 7 million. So exactly like I predicted, we did kind of blow past that, but we did have a couple bounces in over the month where let's draw this out again. The psychological number of for the Koreans is 7 million, 8 million. That's the won, right? Not the USD. So let's draw this out again. So let's put this at the 7 million mark here, and that's close enough. But as you see, this is the daily candle. You see these shadows just touching it, going a little bit above, going a little bit below. Bouncing off that level of that 7 million won mark, which is around 6,200 for us in the United States. But it's still important to know that they control a huge market share of Bitcoin, and including Ethereum as well. And that's a big psychological number. For Ethereum, it's 300 for us. In Korea, it's completely different. They use whole numbers. They have a completely different pairing. They have a completely different currency, so their whole numbers are completely different. So we're going to also look at Japan here. So why are we looking at Japan? What does Japan really have to do? Well, Japan is the third biggest market here. Bitflyer, at 5.2% of the complete total volume of Bitcoin, is handled in Japan. So we're going to go over here and we're going to go to Japan, Japanese yen. Okay, Japanese yen. All right, so we're going to do the $7,000 mark and see what that really means in Japan. So instead of 8 million, that's actually 800,000 in Japan. So we're going to see 800,000. And that's 70.59 for us, and I think Japan the markets are actually a little higher. It's always been a little higher in Japan because they have a lot of liquidity issues there in Japan, where it's harder to arbitrage in the Bitflyer market to the Japanese yen to Bitcoin. So it's harder to bring Bitcoin in and transfer money and arbitrage because there are very few markets over there in Japan. So let's go take a look at the Japanese level. So we're going to say 800,000 here, and actually since they do have that liquidity level, liquidity issue, it's actually closer to that 804,000, which is not too far from the 800,000. That's nothing, guys. That's like let's actually map it out. I mean, I don't want to give you any rough estimates. Let's give you exact numbers here. So this is exactly 800,000, and we're gonna look at price levels here, and we're gonna zoom in here. That is not what I wanted. All right, let's zoom in a little bit closer. There you go. And then we'll draw another horizontal line here where it seems to be bouncing off that psychological level. It seems to be bouncing off. So we're going to look here, or we could travel here. But let's go somewhere in the middle right here, around 805. Okay, so this looks pretty good. It seems to be bouncing off pretty frequently throughout the days here since we did break past that 7,000 in the United States. So let's look at what the difference is between there. So we're going to look at price range, and we will try to get our best approach here. So that's a 0.6, let's see, 0.5. Yeah, so let's bring it up even a little higher. So 0.64% difference between that $7,000 level or not, which isn't much, but if you are arbitraging, that is significant gains where you could make a lot of money if it does fall below that 7,000 line, or 8,000 line rather. Or 800,000 line rather, for the Japanese yen. So it is important to look at these different psychological levels in the United States and throughout the world. You know, because we're not the only players in this game. The United States dollar doesn't reign supreme. I mean, it does sort of in our heads, and in the world market as a whole, it does. But in the BTC market, it doesn't. It doesn't really, you know. It's just one of the pieces to the puzzle. So that's one of the big things I really wanted to stress here. That the psychological levels throughout the world are completely different, are very, very different. And we're talking about whole number psychology here. So we're going to actually go to the United States here and take a look at what's going on there. Well, we're here in Los Angeles, so hopefully we know what's going on. So that is the mark we're at right now, and this is the daily. So let's break this down to the 4 hour. So that is 7,011. So, whoa, I can't seem to be move this. Okay. All right, 69999. Okay. So $6,999. That is the level that we put it at, and this is our psychological level, our whole number psychological level, where we will bounce off that in the coming days if we try to break through it. And right now there's a little bit of a bearish sentiment. I mean, let's take a look at the MACD. So the MACD, it's looking like it's going to cross fairly soon, within the next day or so. And that really indicates a top or a sort of bullish reversal here. And so that is our biggest psychological level of 7,000. And it's going to remain that until, you know, either markets rally or the ICOs, or Ethereum is doing fantastic today. So, you know, I think we'll stay around that's this $7,000 mark, or maybe even break a little past below it. But I highly doubt we'll break too far below it. But that is our level. This is our level, and we've bounced off that a couple of times. And let's go back to the 4 hour, or even we could go to the 2 hour, just to show you guys how many times we've bounced. Once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, and we're approaching the 6 off that $7,000 mark. And you know, it's a healthy little correction, but as you can see on the 2 hour, we're even going with a negative momentum here. And so we're gonna switch over to this market roundup here. So if you guys do want to want me to look at any coins specifically, let me know. But we're gonna be looking at Ethereum and Vertcoin, especially here, and yeah, we're gonna be definitely looking at those two here. So I drew this little thing here, and those to signify the hard fork. And what we're going to do with that is we're going to delete that, because the hard fork no longer exists. I don't know if you guys didn't notice the news yesterday. The hard fork is no longer there. You know, it has been suspended. It hasn't been canceled. It's been suspended. So you guys should know that, and you know, make sure you guys are trading around that, where there's no more hard fork. So don't expect a rally for Bitcoin to come up anytime soon. So we'll switch to the 6 hour, which is gives us a little bit of a bigger, wholer picture here. So we've already crossed MACD a long time ago in the 6 hour, and we've been headed down ever since we hit that little high here. at 76 and then 78. We tried to cross again, and the market's corrected again right after we found the news. So once we found that out, we have been headed down, and we have been seeing a negative momentum, and we have been going down here on the wave trend. So not too bad here at all. Not too bad here at all. So it is a difficult time to be trading right now, especially backing through into alts. We here at Crypto Somniac did trade back into alts yesterday. We sold around that 7,400 mark, and we switched into alts, which is a pretty good move here because let's go back to cryptosomniac.com because alts are doing really, really well. I mean, we're seeing that 324 mark, which is insane here. So yeah, I mean, in the Chinese yen, what is it in the Chinese yen? 2,100. So China really used to rule, but since China has been banned from exchanges here, where their government banned them from exchanges, they've been obviously not able to participate. So it is kind of sad that they're not, because they were a massive part of the market, and they're still a massive part of the mining pools. But we're chugging along here with Bitcoin, and I think once China does re-enter the market, we'll have another massive rally. I mean, I'm thinking a rally upwards of $9,000 as soon as China re-enters the market here. So it's going to be good times once China really gets their stuff together, their regulations together. So let's check out what the top performers are. But first, let's go through Ethereum and see what's going on with Ethereum. Ethereum has had a really nice price increase since Bitcoin fork was canceled. So let's check out Bitcoin, Ethereum USD, or actually we could check out Ethereum BTC, but I'd still rather look at Ethereum USD because it does give us a little bit of a safer level there. So we drew this trend line going back since July. This upward supporting trend line, and we keep bouncing off of it. So we looked at this was the flash crash. So whether it be China FUD or flash crash, you should not include that in your technical analysis too much, because those are outlier events and they don't really correspond to traditional market trajectories. So when I'm talking about traditional market trajectories, you really want to take a look at the fundamentals and the news, as well as trading psychology, right? And right now, we should have had a really nice bounce back from Ethereum, but we've obviously noticed that Ethereum hasn't been performing as well as we'd really like here. So it is kind of waning a little bit, and what we really came across here was that 30-20 mark, and we bounced right back below it. But it is a decent price level to be at, and we haven't been there since early October. So I'm glad the 30-20 levels are back for BTC. But we continuously bounce off this trend line, which isn't too bad. But according to this trend line, we should be at that 32.20 mark, at least above it, or that should be our low at around end of November. So you do want to take a look at that and keep in mind of that. Hello, Crypto Coin Kiwi and Sarge and Andrej. Yeah, sorry about that confusion. I guess I had the privacy to unlisted, and then I sent it to public randomly halfway through my stream. So I do apologize for that confusion. I usually give you guys ample warning, but I only give you guys like a minute warning before I started here today. So sorry about that, guys. Again, if you want me to go over your coins, Zarge, Crypto Coin Kiwi, Andrej, just let me know. If you do have any specific coins that you do want to look into. But if we look at Bitcoin's comparison here to Ethereum, you'll see we really having that massive divergence here compared to Bitcoin. So let's actually look into the daily here. For Ethereum and Bitcoin, and we're really breaking past that point of we almost, I would call it a moon here, because that stability, there's no stability there. It's just complete shot up like a moonshot for Bitcoin, and Ethereum's kind of been waning behind. I feel like the buy pressure and the market enthusiasm really pulled out of Ethereum and went into Bitcoin. So we will see a nice little bounce back, in my opinion. The momentum has finally, the first candle, I mean, it is a small little candle here by itself, but that is buy signal. That is a buy volume right there. That is buy momentum there. So very nice to see that return. Altcoins finally becoming green again, and we're getting that 60 RSI. And let's look at the wave trend. Yeah, finally a nice little buy signal that doesn't look like it's going to coincide with anything negative here. And we're going to look at the candles because candlestick patterns are very important. So we have a bullish engulfing that completely engulfed yesterday. The last 4 days of trading action. So really nice recovery here for Ethereum. We're gonna continue to monitor this here on CryptoSomniac to see if we can keep up on those levels, but it'll be interesting. It'll be very interesting to see, very interesting to see. And Zarge asks if we could go through Qtum, and we're very bullish here on CryptoSomniac on Qtum. So you use a minimum volume transaction method. It's almost like a proof of stake, proof of work hybrid, and it's great. I mean, we stake Qtum here, just on an old laptop. I mean, you can use your Raspberry Pi. Probably the laptop isn't the most energy efficient, but we put it in low power settings, and we stake Neo or Qtum all on one laptop, so not too bad. So we drew these levels here, these downward level slopes and these upward level slopes here, and with a convergence here, which didn't mean much for Qtum on Bittrex. This is the BTC indicator. BTC's been obviously outperforming almost everything, so we're going to actually go to the dollar indicator. If Qtum does have that dollar indicator, and it does, so we're going to take a look at Qtum in the dollar indicator. So as soon as that loads, okay. I guess it didn't load for me here, so we're gonna. There it is. Okay. So, I mean, this shows us a complete different chart, right? So it gives us a complete different chart compared to what we were used to seeing in the Bitcoin indicator. So let's go take a look at our extended ray here. So this is September 15th. That is a China FUD. So if your trend lines cross through the China FUD mark a little bit, it's not too bad. Don't worry about it too much. And we could even pull it up even a little bit higher, just to cut through all that China FUD garbage there. And we're going to put it right there. That's a nice trend line. That's a nice upward supporting line. So if I was trading, I would try to look at that under $10 mark in order to, or if I was to buy more Qtum, I would look at that under $10 mark to buy some more Qtum, because there is an indication where we're seeing. Let's actually write that down. Make sure that no one here forgets it, and we won't forget it. Under $10. Q level, or let's not call it Q level, buy price. So there's quite a lot of room between that under $10 mark and $9. So if we come back down here, that's $9.20 mark. So actually, let's change that a little bit. $9.50. Okay. I guess $9.50 doesn't make any sense anymore. So we'll just do this. That is your buy price. That is your buy level. That's where I would get into, and that's probably where I will get into, is if we ever get that low down, that low, because more than likely, if it ever gets that low, we'll see a little bounce back right off that 950 level. And Qtum's been performing really strong, and it's such an early project that I'm very bullish on it, and I don't see it going anywhere anytime soon. So definitely no breakdown or descending triangles looking anytime soon. I mean, we could try drawing one, but it's not going to look too pretty. We'll draw it right here. Oh, we'll draw it right here, and we'll try to cross. That doesn't look very pretty, and that makes no sense, because it just doesn't make any sense. There's no real converging triangle there. So, but we do have that strong line of support. We have that momentum coming up. We have a little bit of a waning MACD on this 12-hour. which is not too much of a concern, but it's something you definitely want to keep an eye on. I wouldn't buy this high. I definitely would not buy this high. I would wait to drop a little bit, but that is something that you'd be looking at. What's up with that big red candle on every chart on TradingView? Aha, yes. So that is not TradingView's fault. That is Bittrex' terrible algorithm. So that is usually from Bittrex' algorithm. This is essentially the drop right onto. So I think they drop it right on, because it is they dropped it from Ethereum levels, I believe. They dropped it right in to the market, to the trading market, and that's what happens. It's just they have a terrible system of essentially implementing new coins into their system where you can buy and sell and deposit, and it just doesn't accurately reflect anything. I know. It's just Bittrex. It's just Bittrex. So don't worry. There's nothing too big of a concern. So, but you could completely disregard that red candle. I know it's kind of confusing, but just completely disregard it. But yeah. So let's also go through our second favorite, which is Neo. Our first favorite's OMG. Second favorite's Qtum. Third favorite's Neo. So let's go look at Neo dollar indicator here. So we already drew this price level out, level out. So, so we're looking at, so that is a 12-hour indicator. So we're looking at, let's give you guys a couple of wiggle room. So make sure we're staying relevant here. Okay. Okay, that's a little low here. So let's take a look at that. So let's say under $27. We're gonna. That's the call that we're gonna make. That's our buy levels there. Buy levels under $27. Neo. That is our buy level here. I would not be touching Neo for any time soon. I am staking it, so I won't be touching anytime soon. I would really like to see the market stabilize a little bit, but the MACD did cross, and it looks very bullish, and we're finally seeing that nice little green coming back, that final green momentum. This is the first day of green momentum, 11-9, since the last since October 15th. So this middle of October, so we're finally seeing that momentum return, which is nice. We have that wave trend buy price of yesterday. That was the end of the fork. But these levels aren't sustainable. That's a massive bullish engulfing candle here. So I wouldn't put all my chips in one basket there. But I've never sold Neo. I've never sold my Qtum, and I've never sold my OMG. So I've stayed diversified, and I'm bullish on all three of those. So it's definitely not bad. Let's see. I know you went over NAV last time for me. 0.6 is a buy point last time, but it was segmented 2x. It just changed a bit. Yeah, let's go over NAV. Zarge asked for NAV, so let's go over NAV coin. And we'll look at the dollar indicator. So we're still in this descending this little triangle here, and we're probably going to let's see, actually, before I make any judgment calls, let's see if we finally hit that buy. Did we actually? We're weaning on the negative momentum, so that's really good. I think we'll have a positive momentum anytime now. So it is important to look at what's going on with NAV, and how we could correct that, or how we could plan for the future. So it is important to look at let's see, NAV coin roadmap. See what's going on with the NAV coin roadmap, and see if we could plan around that. Oh, this is terrible. This is terrible. It doesn't even show us dates. Okay, well, this is interesting. Okay, it doesn't even show us dates. Currently in progress, marketing roadmap. So they're doing a decent job marketing. I mean, I've definitely been hearing NAV more and more lately. Cold staking implementation, wallet, NAV chain prototype. So they have a lot of room to grow and a lot of time for development. They are very unproven, so I wouldn't put all my chips on one you know, on the table there. Chips in one basket does not make any sense, so I don't know why I keep saying that. Chips on the table. Wouldn't put all my chips on the table. Put my eggs in one basket, okay? Yeah, chips in a basket doesn't make any sense. Sorry about that. So, yeah, I mean, it does keep bouncing off this upper triangle. I mean, I'd be surprised to see if it goes through, but let's look at the 4 hour just to see if we can get any closer. It is bouncing off that line. See how well that 4 hour gave us of an indication? That dollar indication was terrible. I mean, that daily indication was terrible of what's actually happening. The MACD does look like it's sloping down here, which isn't very good. So let's zoom in here and draw a line that's exactly the same as that trend. So like we stated earlier, that is a downward sloping line. That is a negatively sloping line. So we just zoomed in and try to look at that MACD. So therefore, we have hit our top on the 4 hour indicator, but on the daily, it doesn't look like we're too bad. So in the long term, I think we're still fine on Navcoin. I mean, I think it's a risky investment, but I don't think it's going anywhere anytime soon. I definitely wouldn't sell at this point, but I mean, I would keep a close eye on the markets. I mean, the green momentum is there for Navcoin, and we're finally hitting that top of that triangle, and we're gonna see if it could jump up here. Let's look at the volume candle, see what the volumes are gonna. So we had a massive green candle. Everything had a massive green candle. Completely disregard that, but we're seeing negative. We're seeing lower and lower volume on the sell volume, and higher buy volume, and I think we're going to zoom in even a little bit more for the 2 hour. So yeah, we are definitely seeing a little bit higher and higher sell volume. I mean, buy volume. So that is a good indication. But we are looking down in the short term for NAV. This is definitely something I would keep an eye on. I mean, maybe set your stop loss levels at that psychological 90-cent mark for BT, but that's just a USD level. I mean, let's go look at BTC if it's any different here. Yeah, I mean, we're still hitting the same, or different levels rather, or the same kind of pattern though, on the 2 hour. So it definitely looks like we're going down in the immediate short term, but on the long term, on the daily, you know, I think we're fine. I mean, I wouldn't be selling this if you were holding on to it. I'd be keeping an eye on it, but I really wouldn't. I really wouldn't be buying too much of it. Trying to purchase on Genesis Mining at the moment. The website is completely clogged up. Yeah, I used to cloud mine on Genesis Mining, but it's basically very profitable if you're getting a bunch of referrals out. And you know, the last thing I want to do is, you know, shill referrals to you guys, and I definitely don't want to. I definitely don't want that, is to shill referrals, because that gets annoying. Like, hey, join BitConnect or join Genesis Mining. You know. Sign up under my referral code and I could profit off your usage, you know. And I don't really want to do that. You know, I get enough enjoyment out of this channel without doing that. So yeah. Yeah, I mean, so that is for Navcoin. I mean, and the last coin we're going to look at is OMG, which had an amazing bounce. So this is the OMG Bitcoin, and we finally broken down from that, or broken out of that trend line here. So let's go look at that trend line. Oh, that's a terrible line. Yikes, what's going on? Why is it jumping like that? Okay. Alright, actually that doesn't even look good either. There's trends. Alright, that's not working, so let's go to the 4 hours, see if that works a little better. Alright, that doesn't look too good. Now that is something I like a little bit better. So I mean, that's kind of resistance, and then boom. You see that candle? Boom. That's insane. That is a massive candle. There's a massive candle for yesterday. And you know, I would wait for this to stabilize. I definitely would wait for this to stabilize. I mean, I wouldn't tell anyone to go out and buy something right now. You know, 20% increases for your coins is not normal. So do keep an eye on that. I mean, yeah, that's definitely broken out of the downtrend, which is nice. But I'm really looking forward to, you know, the MACD finally crossed, which was nice again on the 7th for OMG. One of the first times it's crossed on the daily because it is such a new coin. But we're finally seeing that green volume coming back. The momentum, I'll be really looking forward to seeing that if that comes back. But we're finally getting that nice buy signal. So I've been buying OMG throughout the entire month, a little bit of OMG through the entire month. So do keep an eye on that. But anyways, guys, please check out cryptosomniac.com. It is our website. We are optimizing it at the moment. It's still in beta, so do check that out. Beta is like a test net, you know, so it's on the test net right now. You know, so do check that out. Go on the forums, go on the exchanges, go on the news page, sign up for our newsletter. Like this video. It really lets the community know that it was worth watching, and you know, subscribe if you haven't. It would really, we'd really appreciate your support on the channel. Remember, guys, stay a crypto somniac because the rich never sleep.